Hey there, everyone. So welcome to this Azure Data Factory session. So what we're going to do tonight, or in this stream, is we're going to go through how to ingest data from an FTP site, and then we're going to go and put that onto a Blob store, and then from the Blob store we're going to go and consume that data into a SQL Server database. And we're going to use just the normal SQL Server or Azure Data Factory product. We're going to use the UI. We're not going to use the SSIS integration. That will be for a different session where we actually consume data into SSIS or deploy SSIS packages into Azure Data Factory. So this will be a basic data flow or data pipeline in Azure Data Factory. So let's get started. So what you obviously need for this, and I'll put everything in the link in this video once it's been published and uploaded. The prerequisites are you need an Azure subscription. Now you can obviously get a free 30-day trial. We get some goodies and credits, £150 free credits and that sort of thing, or $200 if you're in the US. You might be eligible for a free monthly credit with an MSDN subscription as well, if you have that. Anyway, so to get started, you open up Azure, we use your portal. We're going to go and create a new resource group for this, and we're going to call this Data Factory Demo. There you go. We're going to build that in UK South. Right, resource group created. Just refresh. Sorry, we have a train coming past. Excuse the background noise. We're then going to open up that resource group, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up we're going to start setting up some other things in the background, some other prereqs. For this demo, we're going to need a storage account. So we need some Blob store. So let's just go through and create this. I'm going to tear down all of this once I'm done. So yeah, I don't particularly care about showing any of my IDs for this. There's nothing that's going to be in production. Let's call this Data Factory Demo Blob 01. Oh, sorry, forget lowercase only on the storage account. We're going to use a version 2. We're going to make this local redundant only. You can create geo-redundant and that sort of thing in UK South because that's closest to me. And standard hot storage disable. We're going to use our free trial account. We're going to drop it into our Data Factory Demo resource group. Yep, no, that's all good. Okay, so now we're busy creating that in the background, and that's going to take a little bit of time. Then we go into our resource groups again, and we go and we want to add a data factory. Data Factory Demo 001. Is that valid? Yep, that's valid. Free trial, Data Factory Demo. We're going to use the version 2, not East US but Western Europe. There we go. Our storage account is sorted out. I'm going to get that guy up and running. So busy deploying him. I'm not going to do the SQL Server database just yet. We'll do him later. I actually have a database that I can use. So I might use that guy. Anyway, so now we have a we've set up a storage account. We've set up a data factory, and we set up a resource, dropped this into a resource group. Okay, so obviously we need to have something to consume, so I'm just going to quit that, don't need that. I've uploaded, I've got this free, well actually it's paid for, but I've got this FTP site that's hosting some data. And what we're going to start doing is we're going to consume that data feed. So let's go into Data Factory. Right, so first things first, Data Factory has things. You have pipelines, or we've shown here, and pipelines is orchestrations, processes, etc., etc., right? So let's call this one consume FTP data. Right, that's our pipeline, and in there we're going to need a data flow copy action. Right, our source is going to be an FTP location. Okay, and this is the connection. We're going to create a new connection. We're going to call this whatever we want to call it. Data Factory FTP demo. It is a straight FTP server. The host name for this one is FTP. So this is one of these cheapy free hosts. drivehq.com. We don't use SSL, we use basic authentication here. Right, and right, test connection, and we're happy, finished. So that FTP location works well. Now, sorry, whilst we're busy creating that, there we go, done. We have a folder, oopsie, wrong one, just hold on. Yeah, we have a folder. So this is my FTP session. Oh, we got kicked off. Let's go back into this guy. Oh. Right, so we have a folder called AB, and in there we have a 60 meg file. Right, so the directory is AB, and the file, you can build dynamic content or dynamic actions. So you can process files, multiple files and that sort of thing, and cascade through and roll. But anyway, there we go. There is a file. You can't import the schema. I want to skip line counts. Well, let's try. See if we can import the schema. I doubt we can. Oh, that worked. Okay, so it's detected our 14 columns in our CSV file. Okay, that looks good. So that is our source, and our sink here is going to be our blob storage. So sink, new, blob store. Where's blob store? Blob store. Huh. Oh, there. Sorry, didn't see that. Right, and we call this our blob store. Connection to that. Wait. Yes. New. There you go. There's our blob store. Test connection. Happiness is finish that. And it's done. Then we go back here. So now we say our sink is our blob store. Just go flat. Right, mappings, import schema. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh. There we go. There's another problem. We don't have should probably put in a file name. Okay. Right, let's go and publish all of this. Maybe we should validate. Oh, no, there we go. Let's just check validation. No errors found. All good. Let's trigger this guy. Okay, so now this guy is running. We should be able to check on him here. Oh, sorry. My bad. There. Let's see how this... Oh, trigger failed. That's no good. Why did he fail? Okay. We have this is obviously, you know, we're in demo heaven where things go wrong. I think it's possible that let's go and do a run storage explorer I might have to create a folder structure in the Blob store. Okay, let's create a new Blob container. We call this oops, Data Factory demo. Okay, let's go back to our Blob store connection. And choose, oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, let's do another trigger. In progress. Okay, this one looks a little bit more successful. It looks like it's trying to do something at least. The other one failed after 21 seconds. Here we go. It's busy writing data. It's looking good. Obviously, we could have skipped the blob storage and written directly into SQL Server, but that's not best practice. Because obviously you want to consume the data correctly first. Blob storage is more reliable than an FTP transaction. Now this is a 60 megabyte file, so you know. Oh, there we go. It's read the whole file. Ah, there we go. Done. Happiness is. So we got a successful execution. That's awesome. Okay, that meant that our data factory pipeline was able to copy data. So this is now called get copy from FTP. Okay, let's go and deploy that guy. Okay. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to do another data flow. And oopsie daisy, sorry, it's a copy data action. And obviously this guy is going to be ingest into SQL. So what we're going to do with this one is our source is going to be our Blob store. Actually, no, we need a new Blob store source because obviously now we need to read a specific file. And we're in there, and there is our blob that we pulled. And that should have data in it. Yeehaw, yeehaw. Lots of data. Right, we don't need to skip any head rows because we did that already. We can go and import the schema. And there we go. There's our schema. Okay, so now obviously we need a sink, so that's another thing. With all your copy actions, you have a source and you have a sink, or source and destination. So our sink here is going to be a Azure SQL database. And here, oh sorry, another prerequisite. I need to create an Azure SQL database. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to add Data Factory demo. Right. Data Factory demo. Blank database. We need to create a server. Data Factory SQL demo. Sorry, just keeping things different. Username, we're going to give it something, and we're going to give it a password. Create a new UK South. There we go. And I'm not going to use the standard tier, we're going to use a basic tier, 2 gigs, because this is just for demo. And I think we're good there. Okay. So that's busy deploying. And as soon as that's deployed, we can go and grab the connection string and create our destination database, which is oh, hold on. So just waiting for a database to be created. Right, this can take a little bit of time. anytime now. Anytime now. There we go. Right, so what we want to do first, we just want to check the firewall options. The server firewall, 0 resources must be able to get to it. Also want to add my client IP, and we save that. And success. I want to have a quick look at the database. I want to make sure. Oh, oops, inherited. Never mind. We'll create an additional firewall. Right, stay away from that. Go and grab the host header. And let's go and connect to this guy. So it's that guy, and we're using that. Oh, really? Oh, I haven't set myself as an admin on this box. That might be a problem. Right. Come on. No. It's been a bit. There we go. Let's add myself. Save that. And now I should be able to connect. Yes. There we go. Right, so there's our database. I do have a schema somewhere. Oopsie daisy, get rid of that. And that schema is here. There we go. Right. Yeah. New query. Let's just this. And table created. Go back to our data factory. We now want to go back to this SQL Server. So our server name is that. Database name is that. We use SQL authentication. We put in our admin SQL username and password. Test connection. And all is good. Okay. Then we select our table. Look at our schema. We have our 14 columns. Go back to our consume FTP, go back to our ingest, and our sync, click on mapping, import schemas, and they're all good. There you go. Fully mapped. We go, no, dismiss the debug. We want to validate. And it goes, everything is happy. We go, we publish this. Okay, let's wait for it to be fully published. This is sitting thinking. Oh, the debug is running. I'm going to cancel the debug. There you go. Right, so if we now go and we want to set up a trigger for this guy. So a new trigger. We want a new trigger. This should be daily. It is a schedule. We're gonna run it every day. We're gonna execute it at 1:05 in the morning, UTC. No end date. Okay, let's finish that and let's publish. Let's wait for it to publish. There we go. We've now published this. So if we go and we look, oh, we won't see them here, will we? No, we won't see them. Right. So if we go in and we trigger this guy, and we go and have a look at the in progress task, we can see what the actions are. So we know the first one, this FTP action, that took roughly 2 minutes, I think. Now, we're busy copying the Blob store. Almost there. There we go, and we're done. Oh, there we go. Cool. So basically this first consume the FTP file on the Blob store. From an FTP location to Blob store. I know we could have canceled this, but best practice is to consume the data into more reliable storage. And then from there on, we took the file from the Blob store and dropped it into a SQL Server database. Right. So you're probably thinking, why is this useful? Well, if you're running process loads in the cloud, you obviously don't want to spin up a whole bunch of virtual servers and run other sorts of orchestration. Plus, there's a lot more efficiency that can be gained, more complex triggers, and a whole bunch of other things. There are a lot better with regards to Data Factory. Another thing that's interesting as well is that Data Factory can work, or now works with SSIS as well. So the SSIS catalog can exist within it. So I'm going to have a session in about a week's time where we're going to go through SSIS integration as well and see how that works. And you're thinking, well, obviously, what's the good of uploading data into the cloud? Well, if we have it in a SQL Server database, we could take our Azure or analysis services instance that are running in Azure, and we could obviously consume this data for visualizations and business intelligence projects, and then visualize them out in Power BI, for instance. Just to sort of prove a point about the row count. So if we go just want to see so that we balanced, so we had 560,662 rows in our SQL Server database. And if we go back to the Data Factory and now run, we can see that in our insert action we inserted 560,662 rows of data. So all happinesses. Obviously from here on you can create further tasks, orchestration tasks, where you go and process the data inside of the SQL Server database by running store procedures, those kind of things. You could go and traverse this data or run machine learning executions or experiments on top of your blob storage data, and then post those results into another SQL database, for instance, or drop them into another data lake, or do something else. But yeah, this was a basic Data Factory example, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to see more content like this, then please like the channel, or like the video, and please subscribe. And yeah, everyone have a great day.